Hello, I'm Kimberly, and you're watching Simply Living in a Small Town. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I hope everybody's doing great. Um, I want to welcome any new viewers as well as any returning viewers. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here and watching. Please comment below what you're doing, what you got going on. I would love to hear. I love to read the comments, and I love interacting with everyone. So just let me know what's going on. I have had a lot going on, um, some of which I've kind of mentioned, and a lot of which I have not. So I made some notes for myself here so I can remember some things that I wanted to bring up to say. But let's see, yeah, I had a comment from someone that a lady wanted to know. She said, would like to know how you got started designing and getting a YouTube channel. I'm not entirely certain how to answer this question, but I will do my best. So I'm going to kind of go back for a minute. So back at the end of about the spring of 2020, my life was going wonderful. I was still living in my house that I had been in for about 20 plus years. Like things were just coming together. It felt like at the time, and things were really good at that point. Obviously COVID was like a big deal. You know, that was like March, back when the country shut down, and that around that time, literally, my daughter had started asking again about getting a pony. And she just kind of kept asking. And it was kind of something that we had talked about before, that she had asked about before. And I had said, yeah, you know, probably eventually we would eventually get her one. So at this point, she kind of started religiously, you know, asking, when can I get a pony? It just so happened that I saw this adorable little miniature horse for sale not far from us, and a video of him driving, and I was like, oh my gosh, isn't he adorable? Like, he would be perfect for my daughter. So my husband and I went and looked at him, and I went ahead and bought him, and it was a surprise to my daughter. So we got this pony. And she kick-started me back into horses. Now, I already had 2 horses. So he's actually out in pasture with 2 other horses that belong to me. Those other 2 horses really hadn't been handled. I'll just put it that way. And they were mine, but there was reasons why I was not doing anything with them, and they were pretty much just pasture pets. So she kick-started me getting back into that. I grew up with horses as a child, from about the age of 10, and I showed horses up until I was like 18 years old. And so anyway, I had horses almost my whole life. So we got back into that, and it was really exciting time. Basically, I know a lot of stuff was going on in the country, and it seemed like but what we were doing, it seemed like it really overshadowed people, you know, the frustrations that people were going through and such, with everything, you not being able to go anywhere and all that. So I think, you know, we were redirecting our attention and doing something that was really fulfilling and enjoyable. So I went and bought some new equipment that we needed, and I bought to work with my horse because I picked one of my horses to start working with, so I could be out there working with her and working with my daughter and her pony to teach her to ride. So we were doing that. I'd gotten my daughter a couple of new saddle sets and stuff for her pony because I didn't have anything that would fit a pony that small. I had ponies growing up, but they were like never that small. They were closer to the height of a horse. So I had some pony equipment, but not anything of that size. So I know this seems like I'm way off the beaten trail here about starting a YouTube channel, but this is where I started because of all that we were at that time doing. My daughter and I we were really wanting to start a YouTube channel then, and we were wanting to do it like on, the horses basically. That's kind of what we were wanting to do at that point in time. Well, things were still, we hadn't done that, but fast forward, things had gone great, and fast forward then till, going into the end of that year of 2020, November 5th, then 2020, our house burnt down. And when that happened, we lost, well, I lost because it was my tack, horse tack. I lost most everything that I had bought, which was quite a few things, quite a bit of stuff. And I also lost then tack that I had from when I was a child. So that was very difficult then to proceed forward with, even working with the horses, because we didn't have a lot of the things that we had been using that we needed, to work with them. So, but also not only that, then because the house burned down, that took full attention and center stage in our life, because it took away everything that was comfortable and normal, a roof over our head. I mean, everything that was normal for us was gone. So really at that point, it was more about just trying to survive, honestly. So fast forward to then more recent, I had started this channel this last summer. I was like, and actually I say that my daughter started her channel first. She has 2 YouTube channels. One is called Spirit Frost the Cat. And it's like edits and shorts of like Warrior Cat, the edits and shorts like that, which is based on a book called Warrior Cats, and there's different books in that series. And she has a few, I think, other things thrown in there. The other channel is called I Love Cats, and that channel actually started to be originally Pokemon. I think it was Pokemon Master or something like that. I can't remember because she changed the name of it. And it was all about Pokemon cards and that. And she has decided to go a different direction with that. So, but she started that channel first. It was Ava the Pokemon Master. That's what it was. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember here. So she has recently changed the name, and she hasn't done much with that channel. But the other channel, that's for Spirit Frost the Cat, she posts on fairly regularly. So she basically she started the Pokemon channel sometime like I think last spring. And then I started mine, which I had already went in and changed, like decided on a name for the channel that I finally settled on, and made sure there wasn't one name that, and just kind of slowly started setting things up to like editing the name and things that I wanted it to say and whatnot. And then I started posting shorts, my crochet shorts. So originally, when I started posting the crochet shorts, I had intended to start making videos over the summer too, like actual videos like this. But I never quite got there, and summer's always extremely hectic for us. But I really was going through something too then, and that was kind of a huge distraction for me as well. So I didn't quite get to doing the videos like I wanted to, but nonetheless, I wasn't going to give up on that. So it just really starts, I want to say though, for that question, it really just starts with, find a direction as something that you really enjoy and want to do. And, it also helps to watch other content creators because you can get ideas and tips from them, meaning like that. For one thing, like your thumbnails that you put up for your videos, I've noticed like, um, if you have, in other words, a more attractive thumbnail, when people search or whatever, they're generally going to click on that, more likely to, anyways, and watch that video. Um, so it's just things like that. Um, but yeah, it's just pretty much like then what decide what you want to focus on, what kind of videos you want to put out, how many times a week do you want to put out. And I will say too, so for creators that put out more regularly, they have more views, generally speaking, because they are um, creating more frequent content. So there's that as well. Now, some people that's not the case, but more generally, often anyways, it is the case. So it kind of keeps people, coming back basically to your channel. So, and, now there's some people, and again, you have to find your own direction with this, just like anything else, because, like, for instance, I heard one yarn addict say that, like, I'm not going to do videos, something or other about like Wednesday whips, and everybody does that, Monday makes or whatever, Friday FOs. And that's fine if that's what he wants to, he doesn't want to do his that way, because of course it's his channel. But the same is true of me. I like the consistency personally. It's kind of like, for me, like a TV show that you like to tune into every Tuesday and watch, or every Friday night, or you're like, my show's going to be on tonight. For me, I like that consistency as a viewer of other content creators' channels. But not only that, I also like the consistency that in my own routine, um, that needs to be the case for me. Like, I like to be on a schedule like that. I don't mind, I can throw in another video here or there if I want to, or what, but I don't have to. It's all up to you what you want to do, really. That's what it comes down to. But for me, I enjoy the consistency of other people's channels being like that, because, I look forward to their videos on a specific day that I know that they're generally putting out a video that day every week. So for me, I like that. And then, like I said, for myself, then to create, I like the idea that, okay, so Wednesday I'm doing a video, and Monday I'm doing a video, and Friday, whatever. I plan ahead of time, because whilst I do not have a full-time out of the home job, I still have like really like two full-time jobs with everything I have going on. It's very crazy, insane. But the point is with me being able to, in my mind, every week know what days that I intend to create videos to put out, with that in mind, that I can work around that too. So for me, that's what I need. But again, it's all up to you as to how, you want to schedule when to put out, what kind of videos you want to put out when or whatever, that type of thing. It's all up to you, and focus on what you want to focus on and that kind of thing. So I am 1000% not a professional on this by any means, but I'm trying to answer your question the best I can. So hopefully that helps. And I will tell you too, if it's something that you're really interested in, then go for it. Just go for it. I'm going to tell you that right now, because you can't fail. So you have to try things, because you'll never know if you don't. And it's not going to hurt anything. So you trying is not going to hurt anything. So if that's what you would like to do, then do it. I say go for it. Now for me, that is another thing that kind of majorly changed my life. So again, to go back to that house fire, that happening because I barely survived that, because I was the only one in the house while it was burning down. And I was actually in bed asleep that morning. So what I'm saying is, the impact of that to me was huge. And so now I am working on my dreams and my goals, and no matter what, and I keep pushing forward despite having chronic pain and autoimmune disease and all these things, and being disabled, because I do have disabilities due to my chronic illness. But there's a place for me. I have knowledge and I have skills, and there are things that I want to share with people, and I want to create awareness on, like, a lot of things to do with the autoimmune disease too, because there's so much that I simply just did not know. But that me waking up to that morning hugely impacted my life. So don't ever regret trying some. Do not ever regret that. We are supposed to try things and fail. I will tell you, I was always taught not to fail, but try your, that it was, you can't fail. That is not the truth. The truth is, we are to do things and fail, because that's how we learn. That's how we learn, is we have to fail. So it's okay. Failure is fine. You learn from that and you go forward and do differently and change and improve and evolve. So it's fine. It really is. And so I tell myself all the time, I keep pushing forward. There's a way for me to do the things that I want to do, and I'm going to continue to go no matter what. And I will tell every single person watching this, please, no matter what you're facing in life, do not ever give up. Ever. Because that's going to be your saving grace right there. Just do not ever give up. Keep fighting. Keep fighting through whatever it is you're battling. And things will change. You'll get where you want to go. I promise you that. I am literally living it. And I have things in motion that I believed could happen, but I was unsure, and if it ever would happen, a couple of things, and things are coming full circle now, and it's like I've lived through all this darkness, and now the light is shining down. And I'm telling you that if you go through something like that, please just never give up. Never give up on yourself. Keep pressing forward no matter what. It's really all about your will and determination, I swear to you. Because that's what has drove me through since my house burnt down. It has drove me through the tears and through the heartache and everything. And I promise you that, okay? So hopefully that kind of gives the lady that asked a question some idea of, you know, some idea of an answer on that. I mean, so hopefully that's helpful. I don't know. I did want to mention then a couple of really cool things. Well, excuse me, a couple of cool things. Yeah. Again, I'm looking at my notes. Sorry, I can't. I have to look at my notes to remember. There's like always going to be one or two things I end up forgetting, and then I get flustered with myself, y'all. So, if you don't watch Cinnamon Stitches, that's Jen. She's Cinnamon Stitches on YouTube, and she is doing Premiere Week this week, which is Premiere Yarn, and she has done 4 tutorials so far. She has number 5 coming out tomorrow, and she is amazing, y'all. So please check her out. If you have never watched her, you should. She has a water bottle she's done this week, a hat, a bag that she made to basically be like for trash, like to put a grocery bag in it in your car for garbage, but you could just use this as a regular bag to just carry around all the time. It's the bag she made is absolutely beautiful. Today she did a poncho top that is just gorgeous, and tomorrow she's doing another top, so which is also beautiful. I can't wait to make some of these things myself. I have followed her along all week, but I was not ready to do any of that stuff because I've got too many other irons in the fire, you know. But I will be doing some of those too. So check her out. Now, also someone else mentioned, a subscriber of mine mentioned that Creations by Jax will be having another Luck of the Draw blanket starting before too long. I didn't realize that, and I'm kind of a little bit behind on watching her. Sorry about my cats. Hey. Naughty boy cats, I'm telling y'all. Naughty. Come on, Leo. Leo. Okay, well, I'm just going to move on because I'm almost done anyway. Sorry about that. So she had mentioned that. So if you want to check that out, I am still working on my Luck of the Draw 8 blanket, which I haven't gotten very far with it, but that's okay. Because I am making one. The one I'm making is going to be for my mother-in-law. So just whenever I get it done, but it is really pretty. So I'm interested to see the next Luck of the Draw blanket that'll be. Maybe I can prepare myself to get, I don't know, I doubt that, y'all. to get started with that. I doubt it. I'm always behind. I'll just tell you that. I'm always behind. It's fine. Now, really the last thing, well, yes, one of the last things I want to mention is please, y'all, please pray for Llama Mama Kayla. She has Raynaud syndrome and has now had to have her 7th finger removed as of last Friday. And God bless her soul. I tell you, she's already back to crocheting, and she's an absolute true inspiration, y'all. So, she only has a thumb on her right hand and a thumb and a pinky on her left hand. And I just cannot, she's just amazing. She's so inspiring, and she is very creative and very talented. And I just love even listening to her stories. She just cracks me up. She has the absolute best sense of humor. So I started watching her last spring, and the first video that had come up on my feed was the one where it's like, looks like she has fingers, like plastic fingers laying out in front of her hand that has her fingers missing. And then she's got a glue gun laying there, and it said finger amputation. I can't remember what else it said, but that was actually the first video I watched of hers. And I'm grateful that I saw that, because I too have Raynaud's syndrome. And the light bulb went off because I didn't know what it was. And I have a lot of issues with my hands. I'm sure you've probably noticed it's kind of just one of those things, but I have a lot of red marks on my hands, areas that are just red marks and what. And that's normal in the winter. Now, once it gets really warm back up, my hands will just look, pretty much basically normal. But in the winter is when I'm affected, my hands and my feet. And recently, I've even had trouble with this pinky turning blue. So I've been kind of keeping an eye on it and trying to, checking it and whatnot, because, I sure don't want to have that happen like her. And I just cannot believe yeah, but when I watched that first video, it just, a light bulb went off, like, oh my, because I didn't realize. I knew that for the last, well, now it'll be 3 winters, but at that point it was like the past 2 winters I had these problems with my hands and feet, where, like my feet, it's the same thing with the red marks, but I also get blisters on my hands and my toes, on the bottom of my toes, and they'll rupture. And it's just, I actually had 2 really, really bad toes last spring, to the point that I ended up almost losing one of my toes because it got infected. And I pretty immediately got a hold of my doctor, and she said, yeah, like, you need to get in here. So I got in there to see her, and she just was, oh my, this is really bad. So she put me on antibiotics, and I'm on blood pressure med, which the blood pressure med is to try to open up your blood vessels, because your blood vessels are narrow towards the end of your fingers, towards your fingertips, and also in your toes. And so I'm on blood pressure med yet for that, to try to help my blood flow, circulation, my blood vessels. The blood vessels, though, dying and whatnot, that's what causes, in other words, then gangrene, and then you have to have it amputated. So yeah, I was very fortunate, because I was getting ready to have my knee replaced right before this last year, and my orthopedic doctor, he actually had to look at my toe that morning before he had to like okay that before I had my knee replaced, because it had been just the week before it was infected. So of course, once I had started the antibiotics, they really took care of that looking so much better. So there was just a scab on that toe by the time I went in then, and he was like, yeah, that's fine. But he said to me, he's an orthopedic doctor, and he says, it's Raynaud's, isn't it? And I was like, yeah. And he said, it only happens to you in the winter, doesn't it? And I said, yeah. I don't have any problems with my hands or feet in the summer, but yes, in the winter, it sucks. So, but what I'm saying is, please pray for her speedy recovery. She took off her bandage the other day. Thank God, it looks really good. It looked good. So on that, but she just amazes me. And so she's cranking them videos out, and I'm telling you what, she's just incredible, y'all. So if you wouldn't mind checking her out, pray for her. That's Llama Mama Kayla. And I think that's probably going to be the end of this video. My goodness. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I was going to mention, but I don't think so. Yes, it's later in the day and I'm still drinking coffee, okay? I drink my coffee all day long. And what I don't mean that I drink like 8 cups of coffee or something, but I drink normally 2 you know, and I just drink it off and on all day. Like 2 of that full over the course of a day usually is normal for me. So I got to have my coffee. And speaking of that, so I've looked into this because I've heard this also. So this is kind of related to one thing too that I was just talking about. Just a second. Okay, sorry about that. I actually had a phone call, so apologize for the interruption. But all I was going to say was that coffee is supposed to help with chronic pain, from what I've read, and I truly believe it. And I start every day off for myself with coffee, and I have to do that because I can't even get myself, like, well, I take a couple pain pills in the morning, but I mean, the coffee helps the pain, all my aching and all that for my arthritis. So just a little bit of a information anyway. Not that you have to drink coffee, but you know, I have to have it. So anyway, that's gonna conclude this video. So I will see y'all like tomorrow. So have a fantastic evening. God bless everyone. Good night.